Oh yeah!
Hey, what is up guys? So I am back home right now, and anyone from back home or who just knows me in real life will know that I have a borderline unhealthy hatred of adverts. And now I'm not just talking about the concept of adverts. I really don't mind if people want to advertise their product to me. I mean the execution of adverts. And I think that I may well have found the worst advert in the world. And a lot of you may have already seen this advert, and it is entitled The World's Toughest Job, and it is a viral advert about Mother's Day. And now this advert doesn't seem too bad until right at the end, so if you can stick all of the way through it with me, please do try, and we'll get there together eventually. So let's jump straight into this.
Hi. 2 minutes. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Sorry about that.
Oi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Have you ever done one of these interviews over the camera before?
No.
Oh yeah, straight off the bat, I am totally buying the premise. These interviews seem so realistic because I know that whenever I set up a Skype interview, I make sure that I get a HD camera, some professional lighting, and a studio-esque environment with super crisp audio.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about the job to get started with. It's not just a job, it's sort of probably the most important job. The title that we have going right now is Director of Operations, but it's really kind of so much more than that. Responsibilities and requirements are really quite extensive. First category for the requirements would be mobility. This job requires that you must be able to work standing up most or really all of the time, constantly on your feet, constantly bending over, constantly exerting yourself, a high level of stamina.
So if you are incredibly slow and did not know what they are talking about already, they are trying to make a job advert which would advertise the role of being a mum. And so the first thing which they're going to kick off with is how much mothers have to stand up. I mean really, that's the first thing which comes to your mind when you think about how tough a time mothers have, is how much they stand up. I mean, I'm sure that mothers do stand up quite a lot, but do they really stand up and exert themselves physically more than lumberjacks and sailors and just a plethora of other jobs which are available out there? That's really the first thing which comes to your mind when you think of your own mother. You think, oh, good old mum, she does definitely stand up a lot. Yeah, her and her standing, that's what I think of when I think of my mum.
For how many hours?
135 hours to unlimited hours a week. It's basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Alright, I didn't realise that there was an unlimited amount of hours in a week. Yeah, you've gone from a very specific amount of hours to just unlimited. I mean, I'm not sure off the top of my head how many hours are in a week, but I'm sure that it is a calculable amount. I'm sure that there is maths available to tell you this information. Why did you not do it?
Is that even legal?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So like no lunch?
You can have lunch, but only when the associate is done eating their lunch.
Really, that's another part of mothers' jobs that you think is the hardest, that they for some reason have to wait for their child to eat before they can eat. Like, I don't know who ever does this. What mothers do this? They're like, oh, man, I mean, there's this sandwich I've got here, but the rule is your child has to finish their meal before you can finish yours. I mean, what happened to family meals? I thought the entire stereotypical view of a mother was that the father comes home and she's got a nice meal ready for everyone to sit down and eat together. She doesn't make this nice meal for everyone and then sit in the corner and wait for the children to eat before she can eat. That just doesn't make any sense.
Not possible.
That's crazy.
Now, this position requires excellent negotiation and interpersonal skill. We're really looking for someone that might have a degree in medicine, in finance, and the culinary arts.
Oh wow, yeah, that is very clever. I see what you've done there with the degrees thing. Although it doesn't really make sense why they would need culinary arts. I mean, what mother is making some gourmet 5-star meal for their children? Mum, the centre of this cake is bland and the base is soggy. Try again. What child have you ever heard say that? If you had given me a can of raw baked beans, you don't even have to put them on the hob for me as a child, I almost definitely would have eaten them.
You must be able to wear several hats.
Sorry, what was that he just said there?
You must be able to wear several hats.
Hats is a defining role of being a mother, and that is somehow also incredibly difficult. Have you ever heard a human being in your entire life complain about having to wear too many hats? Son! many hats. John, I don't know how I can keep going. There's too many.
That's almost cruel. That's almost a very, very sick, twisted joke.
Oh, this really attests to it being a real interview because, you know, the first thing I said yesterday in my Skype interview was, what kind of sick, twisted joke is this? Oh, can I please still get the job, by the way?
That's very insane.
The meaningful connections that you make and the feeling that you get from really helping your associate are immeasurable.
I love how this guy just completely craps on the idea of it being meaningful to have a relationship with your child. He's like, mothers do all of this and the only thing which they get in return is love and adoration from their child and a warm, fulfilling feeling in their heart. What suckers they are. Because no, that is the exact thing. That is the only reason why you'd want to be a mother, is because of that exact reason. No one's forcing you into it. You are willingly choosing to do it for that reward. And now, time for the big reveal.
What if I told you there's someone that actually currently holds this position right now? Billions of people, actually.
Who?
Moms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moms.
That's awesome.
So let's just backtrack for a minute here. They're trying to say that this is a real interview, but these people have gone into the interview literally knowing nothing about the job. Like, the only thing which they possibly could have put as an advert in these newspapers and websites, which we all have no idea what they are, is job. That's literally the only thing which they could have advertised, because every other detail they've had to fill them in on during the interview. That literally never happens. Oh, honey, these last few months have been so hard, I know. Just putting food on the table has been difficult. We've been trying to get all the help we can, but it's okay. I think I've got a real chance of getting this job. Oh, what job is that, Kieran? Oh, well, of course it is the job with no other details. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure this unspecified job in this random newspaper is going to solve all of our problems. If he'd said to me, mums, I would have said, wow, I cannot believe how much of my time you've just wasted. Do you know how unemployed I am right now? I am so unemployed. And you've got that stupid smirk on your face like you've just done something revolutionary by making this video. You should go shove your job where the sun does not shine, sir.
And they meet every requirement, don't they?
Oh yes, they certainly do fit every requirement, you know, like that degree in the culinary arts, which you talked about earlier. Anyway, like I said, this advert is bad, but the worst part of the advert is right at the end, and it is this.
My mom is just awesome. She's awesome.
Because when I saw this, I thought to myself, okay, good. They're joking. They're genuinely taking the piss. This must be from some sort of charity who is going to be promoting Mother's Day for some reason. And what they're saying is, yes, she does all of this stuff, so you might as well buy her a card. Pfft. Of course, a card isn't going to do it. What you really need to do is spend a day just showing your adoration and your thanks to your mum for doing all these things for you, because, you know, she really has had a tough time doing them. But then I found out that no, this is legitimately an advert for a card company. They think that the best way to sell their cards is to talk about how it is the toughest world in the job with no pay, and the best way to repay your mother for doing all this is to buy her a card. I just could genuinely not hate this company more for doing this, and if anyone out there is swayed to buy a card from their website because of this advert, then please unsubscribe and have nothing else to do with me in your entire life, because oh my god, all of the reasons I just explained. I know myself and a lot of other people will have a problem with the massive generalization which they've made by saying it's the toughest job in the world, because it's not the toughest job in the world, it's just one of the hardest things to do in the world. And I genuinely have so much admiration for all of the mothers out there, especially my mum, who's had to essentially raise me and my sister by herself. And with all of that being said, the one thing which I can take from this advert, which I definitely know for fact, is that a way to repay her is not going to be a measly, crappy little greetings card from some random website. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up and I will see you all again soon. If you want to see any more videos from me, click anywhere on this during the outro and it will take you to my videos on Not Productive. So, bye-bye! Ooh, close the lid. New outro, madness!